We're going to go through T2, the Dragon and the Storm. I'll tell you about what the difference is in each fight and what you need to do as DPS and tank. Alright, let's get into it.
I gift you the most amazing creature, perhaps the finest to ever grace these hallowed sands. One of our fine competitors, Shaidal, has returned with this beast, as great beast to himself. Also, as is tradition, I commute the sentence of Shaidal for his noble effort to secure the beast. He risked life and limb to deliver this gift, and his penance to the citizenry is complete.
Rothog, I shall warn you the creature stirs more than it should. I worry that the poison has not quelled the beast.
Shaidal, your service to the Halhulis is complete. You are free once more. My apothecaries have assured to me that this creature has been sedated and should be docile. Gaze upon Ragrakul, the Storm Serpent. Oh. This is not good. Perhaps nets should have been in place for this demonstration. I will require your aid in tracking Ragrakul before it causes too much of a commotion. I would assist, but I need to speak to my apothecaries.
At this point, we're going to go ahead and set up on the other side of that hatch, or well, that's a porthole of some sort. So this flame will come up, and as the tank, all you got to do is essentially taunt it with a single taunt, and then you'll notice that there's little tempests that are popping up. So they'll look like little fireballs or little tornadoes, and at that point, that's when you want to use your AoE in order to taunt them. So the tank will keep all of the aggro, and everybody else can just go ahead and DPS down the tempests. That's pretty important, because if you try and take down the big flame, the Tempestuous flame that's doing the Raging Inferno right there, it's going to be a struggle with the little flames. So just take down the little flames as DPS and then focus on the boss. He's going to do his Raging Inferno, which the bear will interrupt, the Searing Winds, which you can't interrupt, but that's when you know that the little flames are going to come out. So once that's done, as the tank, you want to do your AoE taunt. So as you can see right now, there's a little flame on one of the DPSs to the right. It's not a flame, it's a tornado. But once you kill the big boss, those little guys will go away. Then we're going to run over through this door, and there'll be, on T2, there's 2 sets of groups. So as the tank, you want to go ahead and aggro everybody, but you want to keep the deep caller, that main guy, in the middle. The DPS at this point, this is pretty important, should either mez, root, or whatever they can do to crowd control the shadow binders, but you want to take out the shadow binders first. That's very important. And then the deep caller and whatnot can be taken out. So you'll see on this next pull, I should do the Avatar War. I should target him, and then I'm going to interrupt him. I did the deep caller on accident there, but the shadow binders need to be taken out first, because they're the ones that are doing all the effects to each of the players, and that actually causes quite a bit of damage. The deep callers and the Avatar War don't do as much damage. As long as you can interrupt that Avatar War, you should be fine. All he does is summon a ghost, and then he'll do a bunch of damage after that. But if you can just interrupt him, you'll be fine. What up? So we're done with this group. He does get a corruption. You should take that off. I should have done it as the bear as well. Now here, you pull the left group, and what you can do is kite them back to behind the pillars here. And the reason you do this is because if you sit out here, and we might see this happen here, if you sit out here and fight them here, AoE from the DPS may end up pulling the other group over. And there's a pretty strong... Yep, there we go. There's the other group incoming. So I'll have to run over there and try and aggro them as well. So whoever pulled them, which looks like it was the Warden, because you can see their health going down pretty quickly. And the Ghost was spawned there. You see the Deep Caller over there. He's putting down different things as well as far as effects. So this was not great. What you want to do is pull that first group into the room or like the tunnel that you just came in. And then all the DPS would just hide behind that column. But this is working out only because I was able to go and grab most of the aggro there. But as we were doing this, I think I was on Discord with most of these guys, and the Warden actually called out like, "Oops, I did an AoE." But this is the one that she takes a long time to go ahead and burn down. That's why you want to grab this group and drag it over to the tunnel. And you can do a couple of things to her. Even if she's doing a gray bar induction, if I do like, if you look at my toolbar there, the hyphen is a knockdown. You can actually knock her down while she's doing her inductions. So that's something that's very helpful. And then run up, you'll see the two cultists come out, the dragon will come down. As the tank, what I like to do is I'm going to aggro just the tank with my single aggro. That's the number 2 button. And then I have been not dragging them here. When I first recorded this, I dragged it here. But if you see directly behind the dragon here, there's that big bonfire off on the right. That is where I'm now dragging this dragon. I like doing it that way. I was for a while trying to use the fountain as well as a blocker, because there is an invisible like barrier there. That's pretty good, but honestly, the easiest way to tank this boss is over there by the bonfire where the ads will spawn later on. You'll see them come out. But in any case, as the tank, all you have to do is interrupt that thunderous breath there. We'll see it come up. I think it's called wing sweeping something. Hold on. We'll wait just like 2 more seconds. Okay, interrupt the thunderous breath. If you don't, what happens is he will do that. He puts a puddle down and okay, wind buffet. Wind buffet doesn't really matter. Honestly, if you have him over in the corner, you can just run through him. He won't turn around or anything. The wind will just do its thing. It's not going to hurt you if you're on the tail side of him. So, yeah, there's that. But the flaming vortex there, you want to keep aggro on that. When your group is done burning down the cultists, they need to burn down that vortex and not just focus on the boss here. Also, with Sweeping Tail, that will come up in a second. Sweeping Tail, you want to make sure all of your DPS are on the side where the wings are. If it's behind, then they're going to get not only knocked back, but they're going to take a lot of damage. At this point, the Storm Surge and Thunderous Breath is going to go ahead. You want to take that out. You want to stay out of the puddles. As the tank, try not to move them around too much. I make a lot of mistakes here because this is one of my first ones I did I recorded this video right when this boss came out. And I wasn't really proficient. So I have another video where I just take down this boss. And if you want to move over to that video, it'll show you like stand in the corner, run through, tail sweep. You don't want any of your, like I didn't have to run away there. I didn't know that at the time. Because tail sweep's just for behind the dragon. So you want your DPS on the sides. You don't want to move the dragon too much. Interrupt Thunderous Breath. The tail sweep. And then Storm Surge and that other one, I keep blanking on the name. It's like Tempest or something. Where they basically puts down all the lightning puddles. But if your stats are high enough as a tank, you don't have to really worry about this boss. He doesn't do enough damage. And as long as, like in my case, I have a Runekeeper healer that's just keeping me healed, I don't have to run there. Trembling Air, that's what it's called. That's what I was blanking on. I didn't have to run over there. I just stand in front. It's fine. Storm Surge is when the puddles come out. And then I just remember these guys talking in my ear going, run around, run around. They're not talking to the tank. The tank can just stand here, essentially. And as long as you move a couple steps to the left, a couple steps to the right, you're good to go. Just walk through the dragon when that wing buffet comes out and stand about where he is right now. Thunderous Breath, you should interrupt that as a tank because he's just putting down more puddles and vortexes, and then you'll be taking more damage essentially. I made a lot of mistakes on this run, and I just wanted to show like how crazy it can get when you make mistakes. But my other video it's a pretty flawless run as far as the dragon goes. And at one point, somebody was like, can you stop moving the dragon around so much? Because really, this square or diamond in the middle here, all you got to do is jump from square to square. He doesn't put enough puddles down for you to really have an issue. And then I realized my inductions weren't like on or working for some reason, and now it's working again. Because he was doing something a second ago and nothing popped up. But yeah, for T2, not enough puddles to really worry about it. And then when you go to T3, he just drops puddle after puddle. So you're like just running in circles around the dragon, and it's just dropping puddles consistently. Like every time you exit a puddle, there's another one down. So you'll see we didn't burn down this dragon very well. We only took, what, a quarter? We haven't even hit half yet. Basically, I'm just trying to keep the captain and the Runekeeper alive long enough for, you know, a res for anybody. Yeah, this is a pretty horrible run, and I just wanted to drop that as a video that you can have a really bad time as long as you learn something from it. So on the next run here, if you run to the door, it will automatically reset. Now that goes both ways. If you respawn and you still have a group in there fighting and you run up to the gate, like in the old days, you could run up to the gate and you could watch the fight and like things are fine. In this instance, if you run up to the gate while people are still in there fighting, it automatically resets. So I wouldn't even pass onto the tile here if you respawn. In fact, I wouldn't even respawn, to be honest. I'd wait till the group respawns. That way everybody can get together. So when I talked about learning your lesson, the guys in Discord were like, hey, stop moving the dragon so much. You need to do this and do that. And so I took my strategy that I had been using with pickup groups, which pugs, and I adapted to what they had said as well, so that we didn't have such a big issue on this run. I cut out a little bit of the video because we were just sitting there chatting, and I didn't think that'd be fair to the viewer. Okay. So here we go. Dragon came out. I went ahead and taunted. brought him back over to the fountain because that was my old strategy. And, I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong. You want to face the tail where it's not pointing towards the group. So, like, if this captain that's next to me is trying to heal the group or buff the group or something, then he doesn't get hit with the tail swipe. He doesn't have to worry about it. So he was sitting there trying to help me out with the interrupts and just general tanking of the dragon. Honestly, there's no need for that. If you're in Discord with a group, you can just call out when you miss an interrupt. But for the most part, he's just trying to make sure that it stays debuffed, I stay buffed, and the group stays buffed. And yeah, you can see he stomped one of those inductions. And basically at this point I'm starting to learn. So I had just joined this kin, and that was a big upgrade from my old kin. My old kin was great, but it was good for like leveling, low level players. This one was more about high instance raids and gear and whatnot. Like they're actually not super intense as far as like pressuring people to do things or thou shall do anything like this. It's just more of like, hey, we all want this. So we have a goal that we all share. And that's very helpful. So now once they're done burning the cultists, we then move the dragon to the middle. Once the dragon at this point hits 22 million, the ads will come out. I'm supposed to aggro the ads, which I did not do. I think I'm just sitting here trying to burn down the dragon thinking that they're going to take care of the ads. And they're like, what is going on? Why do we have the ads? And nobody said anything at this point until I hit that AoE, and then they're like, oh, now you have the ads. Okay. So make sure you grab them. That's why my new strategy is taking them over into the corner where the ads actually spawn, and I just sit there with them, so I'll just watch for the ads. When the ads come out, the dragon gets a corruption. You want to grab the ads as a tank. Your DPS will take out the ads. They should just be focusing on them, which is the additional like NPCs that come out, ads. At this point, ads are down. We should be taking out the corruption. Storm Surge is going on. They asked me to just not move at all. The healer said, hey, don't move. I'll heal you through the lightning puddles. At this point, I'm still like, I'm seeing people going down, so I need to go ahead and make sure I, move, stay alive. I'm gonna keep healing myself. Trembling air's going on. That's giving you a warning that there's about to be puddles coming down. If you notice there's a pattern, it'll go trembling air, and then either tail sweep or it'll be storm surge. They kind of go hand in hand. Same thing with the thunderous breath. It goes thunderous breath and then wind buffet if it's earlier in the instance, or it's going to be storm surge. So wind buffet here, you don't really have to stop that. Tail sweep, that DPS there should get out of the way, or you're going to see them fly back. They'll take a lot of damage that way. One of them died because they were back there. Trembling air gives you the warning that pots are coming down. Or puddles, sorry. And on some of them, you can see when he shoots that lightning in the air, if you have your graphics turned up higher, you may end up lagging, but you can see where the lightning actually comes down on certain players that are gonna get the puddle first. I've started to notice that, let's see, with Storm Surge, if we see anything, because he flies in the air on Storm Surge. Yeah, and you can see that this Rune Keeper in the bottom corner got hit with lightning. So that does a lot of damage. And then there's no puddles right now. There they go. But you notice that, well, the Rune Keeper was off to the side, but the puddle hit him first. It hit this other guy that also got hit by the lightning first. And I didn't, as the tank, get hit. Keep in mind, once you kill the dragon, if he had just done the puddle thing, you're going to see puddles still popping up. The little lightning puddles. Well, they stopped. Okay, good. Because there's been a time or two where I still stand in them, and then I die. And it's like, but we're done. But we're not done, because the puddles are still on a timer, still going. Then we get the loot. Typically, when I loot, I get dressed up in my fancy attire if I can, and then I loot. That way I feel better. So this Flame Lick set, I like it. If you can get all 6 pieces. It is not that great if you're trying to work on your stats. I think that collecting this set will be good for whatever upgrades coming next. I'll just say that. Because looking at the next upgrade, it's going to have higher virtues. Those will go up a little bit. There's no level increase, so that means they have to focus on something else. And if level increase is not it, then it's got to be a stat increase. If there's, nothing else and we're staying exactly the same and they're just introducing new content, well, okay. But here I'm comparing what the difference is between these two: incoming healing or in combat morale regen, and then I'm looking at physical versus tactical, might versus vitality, that sort of thing, and trying to figure out if it's worth changing it over so that I get more tactical mitigation out of it, and that's not going to change at all. So I hope this helps. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Please subscribe, please like, and have a nice day. We'll catch you tomorrow with the adventures of Bjorn Ironside, and then on Thursday I'm hoping to have the raid video set up for you. And that's the video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.